Awesome date. March 16th, 2009. Awesome topic. Who pods the podcast?
Better watch it, Basil.
Or who is it? Cast the awesome cat? Hey, whatever. This is the awesome cast. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, as we podcast from the OSMbunker, or as we know it as the Echo Chamber.
Echo.
Due to issues previously, where we were planning on recording in not a room that has nothing but walls and it's very echoey. We were going at someone's house, but on my birthday, actually, of all days. But then people had to show up and go, "Oh, Basil, happy birthday, we're going to pay attention to you."
Jerks.
And then I was like, oh man, now I have to pay attention to my friends. What the hell?
Basil's such a nice guy, isn't he?
It's my birthday. We're supposed to podcast, not have fun. But whatever. Though that does bring to mention, oddly enough, to coincide with my birthday, the OSMcast just turned 1.
Happy first birthday, OSMcast. You're
What?
still in diapers.
It's true. We are, compared to some other podcasts, we are still in diapers, but we've still lasted a frickin' year.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
Not dead yet.
It's true. And I gotta, I want to give shout outs to all the awesome team, Eric and Douglas and Brad. Really, these two guys here, Lee and Kevin.
Yay.
I'm special.
Whenever we go, okay, guys, we need to get a podcast now. These two guys are always up for it.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, they're like, all right, let's do this.
The secret is to have no life.
Ow, it hurts.
Of course, also, there's Mr. Inubito, who has, edited and fixed every single goddamn stupid crap we spout out into this mic.
Above and beyond the call of duty.
You've listened to We Addicts, right? It's all like that before he gets to it.
Never mention We Addicts. Doesn't exist. Strike it from the archive.
But really, Mr. James, you do a wonderful job, and thank you for editing my talk about how wonderful you are.
You want him to
pretty
edit
awesome.
that out?
Not really. I mean, he can if he wants.
Edit that out, James.
No, don't.
No, leave it in. You need some press.
But, because what's interesting is that, last year, our second actual podcast was our podcast where we talked about going to MTAC. Well, at the beginning of this upcoming month in April, we're going to MTAC. So it's sort of a whole, sort of circling all back around, starting all over again.
Wait, that was your second podcast?
The second podcast we released, if you check the actual index of Awesome, it was our second one was an MTAC.
Wow.
Whoa, I thought there was stuff before that.
We recorded previous podcasts, we didn't actually release them until later.
Ah, I got you.
So our second one that was actually released was MTAC, and now we're going to MTAC once more.
Well, if they're ready for us.
Well, I think they are, in fact. I mean, we're actually going to a podcast panel. Or at least I am. Hopefully I can get the other guys to come in time.
Is it on Friday?
It's on Friday. Well, the current rumor is Friday at 7. Now, don't hold us to that. They could change it, but that's what I've heard. So I'm hoping. Hopefully they won't change it like Friday at 3, because that would suck. Because it means I won't be able to make it, and that'd be kind of lame. But
I'd cry.
Hopefully it will be around 7-ish, which will be cool. There's other neat things, like they're doing a 30 years of Gundam, and like a Sojo panel, which I'm hoping to attend, and
30 years of Gundam.
Like
and
they're-
Shoujo.
They're doing another fandom panel, which hopefully will be dumber than last one. The last one was kind of dumb because it was all like, wah, wah, wah. DIC messed up Sailor Moon. Wah, wah. I'm like, come on.
That's new.
That's old. That's so old news. Come on. Can't you think of something newer, like, I don't know, even One Piece? Or the fact that they've killed Code Geass on the air again? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going to be there to be ranty, complainy, son of bitches. And hopefully you'll be there to listen to us.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you want to talk to us, ranting and playing son of bitches, then there's several ways you can do that. You can, go to our website, OSMcast.com, leave us a comment in one of the comment sections of, this podcast or any other podcast. You can also check our archives, the Index of Awesome. We also have various galleries of where we take pictures of cons we go to, like MTAC last year. You can also send us a voicemail on the Awesome line. It's area code 206-202-0071. Or leave us an email, awesomcast@gmail.com. Any one of those ways will work.
All of those ways will work.
And hopefully you won't hear too much of the raucous kids outside this room. We're actually in a secret underground break room away from our anime club, which is going on right now.
And you consist of, like, the majority of the officers.
Only 3 out of 6.
We still have officers in there, at least one.
2.
All right.
But, hey, that's cool.
Hopefully it won't burn down while we're gone.
Well, we're in the same building, so in theory it should still, we'll at least catch whiffs of the flame. Devours us all.
I like invours. If it's not a word, it should become one.
Well, if you want to keep using the word envours, be my guest.
In other environments, it's time for the world. Or wait.
Not the world. We're going to switch it up this time. Now we're going to do a moment of awesome.
It's only a moment of awesome.
Yeah, I really hope James makes some music for us now.
If not, we can use that.
No, I really wish James would make some music for it this time.
Oh, he didn't last time.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He just left the whole thing of us doing what we were doing. He just left it all in.
Yes, I actually listened to the last one. That was amusing.
So hopefully he actually does it this time. We hope.
Come on, James, make up some music. Stop letting me embarrass myself on the international internet.
I have a suggestion.
God damn it! All right, fine, you're going first.
Okay, my moment of awesome is a little game called. It was a freeware independent. Some Japanese guy put together a game. Well, I don't know the details, but it's called Cave Story. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Cave Story.
Cave Story is friggin' awesome. I played it a couple of years ago. You're this robot in what seems to be an underground cave labyrinth, and you've lost your memories, and it's just Japanese wacky, and it's a shoot 'em up like Mega Man where you get different guns and stuff. And it comes. I highly recommend it. I've already beaten it once, but then I learned that I screwed a lot of things up that I could have done better, and that a character died that I could have saved. Hope that's
Now this is on PC, right?
Yes, this is a PC game. It's freeware, and it's going to be a little bit tricky. Well, it's not that tricky. Just, Google Cave Story, and you should be able to find both the original story and an English language patch. We may have links for you. I can't guarantee that, but when we put this up,
I can look into it.
But it is an excellent story, and I've been replaying it in the past couple of days, and it's just great. It's just fantastic.
Now, if you perchance have a Wii and don't feel like trying to look this up and trying to patch so you can play it on your computer, they are actually remaking it for the WiiWare platform. So you can actually download it to your Wii. It was announced a few months ago, and they're talking possibly as early as April or possibly down to May. So it's actually coming out pretty soon.
Well, I hope they make some money off this game because I want it to get its due because it is an awesome, awesome game, and it's got an amazing twist. I'm not even going to go into it. It's got a storyline to it, man.
Because I'm waiting for the WiiWare version to play it myself.
But you should enjoy it. It's great.
Now on the Wii, while I technically have purchased Mad World, because that's going to be my violent video game of choice instead of Resident Evil 5. Instead, I decided to download and play Peggle.
Peggle.
Yeah, this was all actually both Eric or Kevin's fault, as they both gave me Xbox Live points for my birthday, and I was like, I wonder what's releasing. And then I listened to a Rebel FM podcast, and they're like, oh man, Peggle's out on Xbox Live Arcade. I'm like, crap. What Peggle is, it's the newest craze by PopCap Games. And they're the same guys who gave us Bejeweled.
Those bastards.
And this game is a weird, bizarre combination, sort of like it takes a little bit of Bust a Move and a little bit of Pachinko.
Wild.
Like, the idea is, it's called Peggles because there's all these pegs.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is, it's set up kind of like a Pachinko machine, only all the pegs are in random spots. They do random combinations of shapes and whatever, depending on whatever stage you're on. And then from the top, you actually shoot down a ball. And the ball hits all these pegs, and as the pegs are hit, they disappear, kind of like in a breakout game or Arkanoid. And the idea is to get rid of all the orange or gold-colored pegs or blocks. However, once you aim and shoot it, just like in Bust a Move, only it's from the top down instead of the bottom up. You know, it's then all the physics of the ball bouncing here and henceforth. And there's very special power-ups that you can use in order to, like green ones, and depending on the level, will change how things work. Like, in the first level, it gives you Super God, but it actually shows you exactly before you're firing the arc of fire and how it's going to react to bounce off other pegs. There's some that'll actually give you little flippers, like a pinball machine, and all sorts of different power-ups that you get. And there's bonuses and points, and it may sound boring, but I promise you, you download this, you play this, it's one of the most fun, addictive
puzzle games.
Puzzle, casual, just fun games in a long time. Like, I sat down and I was like, I'll just play this for 15 minutes. 3 hours later, I was running late for work the other day. So, it's incredibly good. I know that a lot of people already play it. Like I said, it's been on PC, it's on iPhone. It's
fucking iPhone.
I think they just released also a version on DS.
Is it Xbox Live?
It's Xbox Live Arcade. It is 800 points, so $10. And it is really fun. It's got actually 4-player multiplayer modes too as well, so you can actually play with friends, leaderboards, whole shebang. It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Does Kevin not have anything for his moment of awesome?
I've pretty much just been playing Star Ocean since the last podcast I was on.
Are you still enjoying it?
Yes, I am still enjoying it. It's more Star Ocean. I'm up at around about 60 hours of total game time.
Really? Whoa.
I've heard you can beat the game in 35, but I think you'd have to skip all the cinema scenes and not spend any time leveling up or doing any side quests, which I've been doing
having
a lot
fun.
Or having fun, yeah. It's fun. I've gotten all the characters that you can get at this point. There are way too many magic-using females. Well...
Wait, hell, there's more magic-using males?
Well, there's sort of a...
Or are you just wanting less magic users in general?
There's an overbalance of magic users. There are really, three... Well, there's total of 9 characters, and 3 are close combat types.
So the other 6 are magic?
Or ranged of some... Well, there's one guy who fights ranged, but all the fights close quarters, but all the special attacks are magic.
So, did this just happen to be the way you... Because I know in Star Ocean it seems to be like you do different things, you get different characters.
Well, there's an exact number of characters. You really can't change it. There's a way on a second playthrough to keep a character who will normally leave on their own. But it really is just a trade-off of a similar character for another similar character, and the one you get is better. So unless you're just really attached to the first one, and you might be, but
I guess it depends on the personality.
But it's fun crawling across worlds. Well, I don't know. It's Star Ocean. It's an action RPG. I don't know. It's still holding my attention. The movies are cool. You spend a lot of time in the movies when it actually gets to one. But it's a JRPG. That's almost expected at this point.
Yep.
It's true. And speaking of video games and downloadable games, we're going to push on straight forward into the world of awesome. So, GamePro is not only a crappy magazine, but also a video game publisher.
Oh, GamePro.
This will end in blood.
4.5 is like the lowest.
This will end in blood and pain.
I remember back when I was a little kid, they had they had Super Ninja Kids comics. And it was the only redeemable feature, and they're pretty crappy comics.
They had another crappy comic, too. I don't remember what it was called, but...
They've had a few.
Yeah.
And I realized that nowadays the Super Ninja Brothers was actually an ad that they just kept in. Some company was promoting their game, so they were doing this comic to promote their game. And that was, so the ad is the best part of GamePro. Like, back in the day, you could ask yourself, when someone told you it was a good review, was it an actual review or a GamePro review? Because there's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
One's an actual review, and one's GamePro. Like, when you try to rate a game in the order of crazy-looking heads, 1 to 5.
I remember the crazy little
It was
head.
the fun scale. No, it was the crap scale. And now they're going into video game publishing, sort of. What they're going through is the iPhone and the Microsoft's XNA initiative. XNA is their community games. In other words, they're publishing on things that don't actually require a publisher. Think about that.
Yeah, that's brilliant, guys.
They plan on what they're calling GamePro Labs. They're going to fuel it by grassroots independent game developers, which probably is random schmoes they're picking up off the streets to code their games for them. And by off the streets, I probably mean some random kid just out of video game college and is looking for a job, and they go, ha, sucker.
Yeah.
I can taste the cynicism.
Oh, well.
As warranted as it may be.
It might be. I don't know. Also, Silent Hill might be coming out for the Wii.
Yay!
And a remake. We're not sure.
Remake.
But the British Board of Film Classification did rate it.
We rate it as awesomely scary.
And it was rated for, I believe, the Wii and PSP, actually. Which is what the rumors have been saying previously.
And you don't usually go get something rated unless there's a reason for it.
And this is the British Board of Film Classification, so they sound pretty authentic.
Not as authentic as the ESRB double KGF.
QQQQ.
ESRB is just like 4 guys in a basement, I swear.
Now, it rates it a 15 rating, which I have no clue what that means, but it does contain strong violence.
It's rated T for you American wankers.
It was M originally.
Well, this is the British. They might find it less M than we do.
Yeah.
This actually does include scene names, but there's scenes like Bad Ending Part 2, and also Harry, Sybil, and Dahlia. But
there's a threesome I'd never be interested in.
But that just means they're probably characters talking. We have no clue what that actually really means. But it might mean, hey, we might get Silent Hill.
Yes.
Probably. I mean...
Yes, I'll remind you, Lee, in Japan, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne was their equivalent of all ages. And in the U.S., it was an M. These things can vary a lot from country to country.
And in Britain, a manga fanatic has helped the North Lincolnshire Library give me a crappy accent. So I'm going to stop it. Apparently some guy named Daniel Scott from Winterton. I'm assuming this is British because all these names sound really British.
Isn't Nebraska?
Of course it's
based
bloody British, you bastard. I can't do it.
Well, I think I got some from a British website, too.
It's British. I'm just yanking your chain.
But he donated 738,528 items. Apparently the comic collection was from a single comic to over 1,000. So...
Well, that's awesome.
There you go.
Now, a bunch of British children can, in turn, say, "Why does that boy have boobs now that he got water poured on him?" Just like I once did.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. He only donated like 1,000 to them. That number was actually, I think, an overall number that was donated to libraries in general.
Oh, good.
Which is still up from like just under 700,000 of the previous year. So a good amount of it is also up to him. I mean, 1,000 books is a freaking 1,000 books.
Yeah.
It beats self-defense against fresh fruit.
It's true. Mm-hmm. And speaking of comic books, someone thought it'd be a great idea, a wonderful idea, what if Obama wrote comics?
If he's not running the country?
Like, wasn't it in The Wizard we just saw in the comic book shop? They had like Super Obama with like him pulling back his shirt in a giant O as a superhero outfit.
Oh, well, I'd read the hell out of that. I mean, someone else did it. I don't think our president has time to be writing a comic book, what with the economy and world politics and all that other crap a president has to do.
What do you think? What do you think about the situation in so-so, Mr. President? Oh, I don't give a crap. I'm too busy inking this latest page.
Well, it's like, the quote is, with Obama comics jumping off the shelves, it'd be just wonderful, if Mr. and Mrs. President would actually write some graphic stories themselves, especially targeted to kids and tweens.
I hate tweens.
They wrote the tweens.
I hate
it's right here in the
tweens.
quote. Former First Lady Laura Bush, together with her daughter Jenna, wrote a children's book last year. The Obamas can run way ahead of that with comics. But with the comics connection, I'm sorry.
The key is the other two were the former, not the current,
Well, I mean, it was while she was Miss President, but again, she was Mrs. President.
She's the first lady whose duties are only whatever she wants to do.
Man, I'd totally draw and write comics if I was a first lady.
Like, I mean, it's not like, George Bush was writing comics. Yeah, and I
That's
really don't...
scary.
Monkey scrawls? I mean, no, anyways.
Monkey paw?
I don't know. It could have been cool in a weird, twisted sort of way.
Wrote of his own poop. Anyways.
YouTube poop.
Okay, so we're moving on straight on to the New York Times graphic novel books bestseller lists.
Okay, how many are Naruto?
Well, we're going to get to that. The reason why I bring this up is because New York Times normally just had like a graphic novels list. And now they've actually added a third one to it, which is just manga books. And of course, what's the hardcover, doing stuff? Starman, number 3's Watchmen, and a bunch of other popular comic books, like Batman.
Wait, Watchmen, I guess since the movie, it's now climbed to number 3?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, what it is that this is also the hardcover, which is the nice super edition that's sort of like, $40 to $75.
You put that on your
This
mantelpiece.
isn't the $20, soft cover.
Like most
that
sane
most
people get.
Well, it is the number one on the list. As well as a bunch of, looks like Secret Invasions and X-Men and Captain America. Which is, a nice spread of superheroes. So what does the manga list get now that it's a brand new list just for manga? Naruto, MPD Psycho, Naruto, Eden.
Well, crap.
No Nagima?
No,
He says, laughing.
No, it's a Naruto Volume 38, then Volume 40, then Volume 39, then Volume 41, Volume 37, 35, 36, and 34.
Are they reading any other manga? There's a crap ton of great manga out there. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Now, what's interesting is that both MPD Psycho and Eden are both released by Dark Horse. But,
Can't they limit 3 or maybe just 1 from...
Well, these are the best-selling books.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Naruto.
Oh, the best-selling. Okay, I guess you can't do anything with that.
It's for the week ending February 28th, so I think it is only for the week that I grabbed this from. But, still, that's lots of Naruto. And that's what tends to sell is Naruto, because that's what the kids buy.
It's the only manga we have at Walmart in graphic novel form. Cry for me.
Well, I'm surprised they have any, but...
Now, speaking of Watchmen, it apparently underwhelmed at the box office. You see, it only made $55.7 million.
On its first weekend?
On its first weekend.
But it broke a record for the first night.
It broke 300's record for, opening night during March.
And it was totally number one movie.
It's the fifth best for an R-rated movie. It's, the biggest opening in 2009. Like, in comparison, Tyler Perry's Medea Goes to Jail made a little, right under 9 million. This made 55 million plus. But they were sad because it didn't make 300, which made 70.9 million.
Well, they'll just have to be satisfied with their huge handfuls of money they got.
That aren't as big as they'd like.
Like, it is like, oh man, it made a ton of money, but not like 2 tons of money.
We wanted more money.
We wanted to fill our pants with it.
Now, you may have noticed that we've mentioned Watchmen graphic novels, Watchmen movie, and there's a reason for that.
We like Watchmen, and there's no other... Wait, there's another reason.
And we know the movie's coming out, but did you know the movie's based on a graphic novel?
I did not know this, Basil. Tell me more.
Well, sure, as we talk about the Watchmen. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Wait, we have sponsors?
Or another podcast.
Oh, I got you.
This podcast is a part of the Dead Workers Party Network. Listen to other fine shows at deadworkers.com/network.
The Watchmen is a 12-issue comic book limited series created by writer Alan Moore, artist Dave Gibbons, and colorist John Higgins. Anyways,
Just as exciting as it sounds.
oh, well, it's way more exciting. It's a DC comic.
Yep.
DC put it out. It ran during between 1986 and 1987. It was actually one of the first real comic books to be collected in a graphic novel form. It's actually one of the ones where they actually used the term to actually start selling it as a graphic novel, which before then they would occasionally do comic book collections, but it would be comic book collections. They use the term graphic novel to try and make it sound better than it was. And
plus, with the new issue format, they can do new things like be more cinematic and take more time for something to develop because they know they're going to collect a certain amount of issues instead of going, oh, it has to have this much dialogue and this much this and that, which was a good and bad thing, but it was a new kind of turning point in comics, the whole graphic novels were.
Okay, yeah, this is like required nerd reading, so yeah.
Watchmen is the first for many things. And because it takes the superhero drama, the superhero story, and turns it on its head. A lot of people use the term, it deconstructs the hero.
And yeah, and now we have a lot of things that are gritty and deconstructed when it comes to superheroes. So it's not a big deal today, but back in, what was it, 85? It was a huge deal.
86, 87.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah, this was the first one to take what if we make superheroes more like real people with actual problems?
And stick them in a realistic world.
A lot of times you would still get, it was pretty, you occasionally see shades of gray, but usually it was pretty black and white. These were your heroes, these were your villains. Occasionally they'd cross each other at points. Where sometimes you might get a hero that's sort of villainous, but not really.
Especially with DC Comics.
Yeah,
we got Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. Even
Wonder
at
Woman,
their darkest, they're big damn heroes.
And Watchmen goes, F that, and paints the entire thing in, shades of gray. From really, really light gray to really, really dark gray.
And it's interesting because the whole thing started when DC acquired some characters from... God, I don't remember.
Charlton?
Yeah, that's it. And they said, hey, Alan Moore, we want you to write a new story for all these characters so we can use them again.
Characters like Blue Beetle and Mr. A and some other people who I can't remember.
And things like that.
Yeah, you probably only remember The Question and Blue Beetle because they kind of stuck around.
And then he started doing that. And they went, oh crap. Okay, maybe you should make original characters.
Yeah, because he's like, this would kind of screw all these characters that we spent good money on. You should do original characters. And he did, and he changed things a bunch. And you can tell where he's taken some of the traits from the other characters, but they added a whole lot, and the rest is epic. It's history.
It takes place in the 1940s, sort of 1960s.
Well, it's 1980.
There's flashbacks. There's flashbacks.
But there are flashbacks for a large period of time back into the 40s, 50s, 60s, because it involves a lot of characters of various ages who have been around for a long time.
There are two main generations. It takes place in the 1980s, very, very Cold War sort of, thing going on for it. and it also has a very 80s feel to it. But its history starts in the 1940s and 1960s when superheroism actually emerged, where you actually had masked vigilantes that almost sprung out almost out of nowhere to become their own force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon you're crawling in people in masks and punching out other people in masks, and it's all good fun.
Until the government outlaws it.
And their first group is the Minutemen.
Yes.
That's the first that's old school superheroes back in the, I don't want to get the dates wrong, but probably in the 40s.
And they're important to talk about because they're half the story. Mm-hmm. And then the actual story that takes place that features all the more modern characters, the 1980 characters, I forget what their group is called.
They never really form a group. They tried to start up a group called the Crime Busters.
But it didn't work.
It fell apart. No one wanted to stick together. No one wanted to work together. The comedian kind of shot down anybody who could have really stood up as a leader, and it all fell apart.
And they gave the group a name in the movie, but we shall get to that later, perhaps.
We might. I don't know. It was mostly about the graphic novel.
Yeah, this is mostly about the graphic novel because it's really...
The graphic novel is the masterwork here. The movie is just... we'll get to that.
We'll probably cover
a little bit about the movie at the end, probably.
But the idea is that the whole idea was they created this whole superhero mythos from scratch. And the way they actually insert this is, they give you flashbacks here and there back to when it was the Minutemen. Mm-hmm. Because the Minutemen were people like this guy named Night Owl, who was sort of Batman-ish.
Yeah.
He's got the tools, he's got the, gadgets, and,
Yeah, Batman. Kind of Batman-like. A little bit of Blue Beetle in there, but that's more the second Night Owl.
Yeah, and then there's Hooded Justice, who is a guy who
all in black with a black hood and a red cape.
And it looks like almost a noose around him, who just beats the shit out of people until they give up. And
that's what most of them do. There's only really one character with real superpowers in the whole series.
Well, that's true.
The idea is that in the 1940s, 1960s, whatever, out of nowhere, I think it was actually the first person they talked about doing was Hooded Justice. Mm-hmm. He dons a mask and starts beating up criminals. And this is sort of like a wake-up call to some other people who decided to do the same thing around the same general area. And eventually, they kept doing this. They eventually coincided to form their own group. And when they formed their own sort of Justice League, that's when things sort of started clashing because you had all these different extreme ideas, extreme opinions, extreme actions from these people who decided, I'll wear a mask and beat up criminals. It doesn't quite work together as a group. And things sort of went downhill from there. And things continue to go downhill from there.
Into the next generation.
Yeah, into the next superhero generation.
Because as the Minutemen were disbanding, new people were inspired by their tales and donned on the role of hero. And I think we should list all the heroes.
Well, we will. But the important thing is that the one character that connects both groups, who's the same person, and both the old generation and the new generation, is this guy named the Comedian.
The Comedian.
And the most important thing for you to know right now is that the Comedian is dead.
The Comedian is dead to begin with. This much you must know, or nothing will make any sense.
It's the catalyst for the entire story.
It's sort of the first page.
Yeah, this isn't a spoiler at all.
Like, you find out the Comedian is dead, and this is actually what triggers all the events of Watchmen, the actual story. Not only the story that goes on as the characters try to figure out who killed the Comedian, but it constantly flashbacks to earlier, the life of the Comedian and how it's affected today and then and back and forth.
Everyone in the story knew him. Everyone of any importance in the story knew the Comedian and had some kind of experience with him at some point in their lives.
Which was usually negative.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole. But that's okay. It's not okay, but that's just who he is.
That's the world of Watchmen.
Because he's constantly laughing at you, ironically.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a guy who tells jokes. He's kind of more like Nick Fury, but they call him the Comedian.
Well, he calls himself the Comedian because he thinks life's a joke.
Yeah, he thinks he's the only one who gets it. And maybe he does.
And so it starts off with the Comedian dead. And everyone goes, well, it was a comedian. he pissed off enough people.
Yeah, no shortage of people who wanted to off him.
Except one man who was like, guys, this could be something bigger.
Like, the comedian is not an easy man to kill, even though he was freaking old.
And this man is a man named Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Rorschach is awesome, even though he's a horrible person.
He is a horrible person, but he's a horrible person for justice.
It's true.
I mean, he is, out of all the black, he's got the most black and white views out of all the cast members. And he may be a crazy sociopath, but he's aptly dedicated to defeating criminals, even if that means killing them, and protecting the normal people.
He's determined beyond anything. He says no compromises, and he goes about doing whatever he wants. There was a Keene Act passed by the government that said pretty much if you are a superhero, you either work for the government or we'll arrest you if you don't, either disband or reveal your identity to us. And he's the only one that said, screw that.
You. It's like, F you, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, everyone else either retired or started working for the government. Only Rorschach was like, yeah, screw you guys, I'm just doing what I always do.
And so he's on run from the police too, so.
It's kind of neat. He wears this face mask that constantly shifts in various patterns of the test.
Yeah, it's like Rorschach. A white mask with like a black ink blotch that always form some kind of symmetrical shape, like a Rorschach test, the ink blot test, where you look at things and your psychiatrist hopes you say pretty flowers, not a dog with its head split open.
And it's kind of interesting that we mentioned that he only thinks in terms of black and white, and that's what his mask is.
Yeah, it was
nothing
very
but black and white, but always shifting.
Yeah, there's like some kind of metaphor in that, I think.
Yes, there is.
Probably. I don't know.
It's Alan Moore. There's more metaphors and symbology and stuff than any normal human can comprehend.
Even him.
Yes. He did stuff totally by accident, I'm pretty sure. But
well, yeah, there was some stuff, which we can get to later. And there's another thing you have to realize about Alan Moore, is he is a writer, and he's got some eloquent and there's got a lot of words in this graphic novel. You got to realize that.
Look, anyone who's seen or read V for Vendetta knows this man's got a lot of words.
Yeah.
Oh, he did that too, just by the way.
Yeah.
And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, although, boy, the movie is a serious adaptation to K.
Yeah.
That one, and those books are the hardest Alan Moore books to read. Because there's so many just obscure references.
It made Barry cry.
It did make Barry cry.
It almost made me cry. The Watchmen is genius. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's League of Extraordinary, you better know literature.
Yeah, but he's very wordy, but he writes well, so it is entertaining.
Yes, and it becomes, I don't know, some people think the beginning is slow, and I agree that it is, but the dialogue and everything kept me going, and, really.
It's kind of funny they made a movie of this, because this was actually a document, the graphic novel is a comic book designed to tell the story in ways that you could not get
in literature or movie.
Because it's comics, you get to see actual movement and things happening from page to page. You actually get to see it happening, but because it's also narrative in its text, you can also use grandiose words and these long passages and all these people talking. But because it's got its own sense of movement, but it's a movement you take at your own speed. And so it's actually really as slow or as fast as you want it. But there's a lot of text to slug through. Great text, but a lot of text.
Yeah. And there's a lot of parallel storylines running around. I mean, I complained about my comic having too many plot lines, and then Suze was like, no, this book beats that out by way. They're not going to get any of that, though, because...
Well, I mean, think about this. You've got your main story. And then the end of each, issue, as it were, they add in excerpts of a book of the first Night Owl.
They have supplementary material in each at the end of the chapter, which you can read or skip if depending on how you feel like it. You'll get a bit more full experience if you read it. But
what I did was the first time I read it, I skipped it. I'm like, this is a bunch of text. I don't want to read this. I want to keep going with the story. I want to know what happens next.
Yeah, but when you actually go back and read it, it's a very interesting backstory and details about the past characters and what they were up to in their situations. That really adds a lot of flavor to the universe as a whole.
And really shows you the whole idea of deconstructing, reconstructing what makes a superhero if they exist in the real world. Like, a lot of that is really in those supplementary texts. And while this is going on, they also have a story known as Tales of the Black Freighter, which is a pirate story that is actually another character in the book is reading.
Yes.
And it's usually read on top of the actual story going on, usually paralleling whatever they're talking about in the original story.
Mm-hmm.
So you've sort of got this narrative over narrative over narrative and this general overall arcing narrative on top of everything else. And it's...
Also, in just about every issue, well, nearly every issue, they really do go back and tell a large amount of the backstory of each of the major characters in the story as well.
Like, it's like there's a baklava or something, like it's crazy.
Wow, that's...
Speaking of the characters, do you think now's a good time to delve into them?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, you got...
Well, let's see, we've mentioned Comedian and Rorschach.
Of course, there's Rorschach's buddy, the new Night Owl.
Yes.
Night Owl 2, who looks more like Batman, but is very gadgety and has elements of Blue Beetle as well.
He's sort of more like the Bruce Wayne-ish as to Rorschach's actual Batman-ness.
It's kind of the middle of the road, not quite the really campy Batman, not the dark Batman. He's kind of the more normal guy.
Mm-hmm. It really two of them together sort of create the actual Batman as we know it today.
But yeah, Night Owl's got the funny owl suit. He's got little glasses that let him see in the dark. He's got a bunch of gadgets, a little flying owl ship. He's your gadgety hero.
And with the Comedian, he, like we said, he was actually one of two superheroes. Well, Vigilante's not really a superhero. That was accepted by the Keene Act. He actually worked for the government. There was one other superhero.
The only real superhuman being in the comic.
Which is Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
Who is a nuclear physicist who got all of his molecules and atoms scattered and somehow reformed himself.
Into a super being.
A big blue super being.
Who is, in fact, more or less omnipotent.
He really is. I mean, he can pretty much cause anything he wants to happen. He can be wherever he wants to be. He can be in multiple places simultaneously. He's aware of where he is in the time stream. In all points he exists in time, he is aware of what's going on simultaneously, past and future. Yet he still acts surprised when things happen, because he totally acts surprised in how he's remembering it. It's wacky.
For his character, I think Elmore actually read up on physics.
Yeah.
And thought, if I was outside law of physics, and how would I think if I saw time as relative and not as ongoing?
Yeah, he is really he's a man outside the laws of physics looking in, and it confuses him.
And that's the great thing about Watchmen is, unlike how you usually have these characters, he really takes, for the first time, takes what they would actually be thinking and how that would affect you. And looking at Dr. Manhattan is a great way just to see how the character is changed by his powers and his displacement among
he increasingly has a harder and harder time understanding humans anymore and how they exist and even why you should care if they're there.
And a lot of people constantly go, man, you just don't even care. You just don't even care. As if he no longer has emotions. And what they don't notice that he does have emotions. Because you see him smile and frown and whatnot in the graphic novel. Mm-hmm. And it's very clear that he does have these emotions. He just doesn't care because they're insignificant. They're not these omnipotent beings like he is. They're inside. He's looking in on them. They're not looking out at him.
Yes. And
of course, going from, the natural progression is for Dr. Manhattan is to Dr. Manhattan's girlfriend.
The Silk Spectre.
Which she is also a second. Her mom was the original Silk Spectre and was, funnily enough, doing the whole vigilante thing because it was helping her modeling career.
Yeah.
It's true.
And they she kind of pushed it onto her daughter to go do this, which is strange.
And she wanted her daughter to be a superhero too, which is kind of odd. So pretty much trained her daughter
to be the next Silk Spectre.
Yes, and got her to dress up in a similar skimpy outfit, which she hates.
She really doesn't want to be the Silk Spectre.
No.
But stupid mom wanted us to do it.
Yes.
But apparently she found this giant blue guy hot, so I guess it all worked out.
I suppose it does. Giant blue
Now, what's interesting is that while all these other characters like Rorschach and Night Owl were buddies, and they were actually partners back when they were fighting crime. And, Dr. Manhattan and Silk Spectre were sort of buddied up, but they all knew the comedian. Well, there's also this other guy. Good old Ozzy.
Ozymandias.
The smartest man in the world.
Which may count as a superpower. He's awfully damn bright.
And pretty damn fast, too.
Yes, he's, that whole peak of human condition kind of superpower.
Well, the idea is that pretty much if you're a superhero in this story, unless you're Dr. Manhattan, you kind of have to treat yourself like Batman. You got to train for it. You got to work for it. You got to be awesome at it. And Ozymandias was the most awesomest of awesome as far as that's concerned.
Yes, I mean, it may be partially due to his awesome brain power as well, but seems to think faster than most people.
And pretty much, they're now all on alert because the comedian is dead. And the comedian, while he was in both the original Minutemen and the newer generation, he was still damn tough.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing. So
pretty much had a small arsenal on hand at all times. He's a gun guy. He's not all this punching people out. He would shoot you.
But he'd punch you too if that was what it took.
Yes.
And somehow someone was good enough to take him out. Which means he's like, an upper level government, operative. Or a masked vigilante themselves.
Or a robot.
And that's not a robot.
It could have been a robot.
There's no robots.
Okay, it's not a robot. But it could have been.
There's crazy mutations, but,
Yeah.
and aliens, but, no robots. And so Rorschach realizes that, hey, something's going on here. Someone killed the comedian.
Rorschach sees a plot. Most everyone else thinks he's overreacting, but Rorschach is sure there's some kind of plot. And he basically goes around to everyone and tells them this.
And they don't exactly treat him favorably for it.
No, they all think he's crazy or
nuts
annoying.
Or stupid, and they sort of brush him off. But as stuff goes along, they start going, wow, maybe...
Rorschach isn't nuts. Well, he's nuts, but maybe he's right.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how the comic book goes. And to really keep going would sort of spoil things. We really don't want to spoil because this is the book you want to read.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could go see the movie, but this is a book you want to read.
Even if you've had seen the movie, you may still want to read the book because there's enough stuff that didn't make it in the movie. It'll be a new experience for you.
If I had first seen the movie, I'd want to read the book more.
Yes.
Because there's so much the movie leaves out that you can get from the book, and it's so good.
I'm actually very surprised how much the movie left in. But, yes, the book it's where it started.
Like, I remember back in high school when I first was my friend Zeb, he was the comic books guy.
Yes, Zeb.
I was the video game nerd and up and growing weeaboo.
I was the anime nerd at the time.
I was, sir, not appearing in this film.
Yeah, you're not in this flashback, Lee.
And so I'd occasionally go, man, Zeb, I kind of want to read comics. He was like, oh, really? Let me start loaning you things. And he would loan me things like Preacher.
Yeah.
And Dark Knight Returns. Both are good, but they're dark. And then he lent me the Watchmen. And that's the one that stuck with me. Because they do, there's scenes and, things happen in this book that even nowadays you don't tend to see. It's very forward thinking. You still, plot elements happen in this book that you still don't see in other comic books.
Yeah.
They still aren't this good. They still didn't think this far ahead. Because, characters do die. I mean, the comedian dying is just, one example. And sometimes they actually didn't realize that certain characters would die until they realized as they're writing to it, the character's going to die.
There was no way out of it.
And they're not afraid, probably because these are all original characters, to let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what will happen, and this book, things happen.
Oh, yeah.
As they need to.
Oh no, Adrian! Looks like the Reds are polluting the city lake! What do we do?
We call the Watchmen! Strong together, united forever, they're the best of friends. But when trouble's about, you'd best watch out for the Watchmen! Night Owl is their leader, and he loves to party down. Rorschach's friends to the animals. Yeah, when he's not clowning around.
Why, nutty!
Beat up some thugs, say no to drugs, be in bed by 10. But if trouble's about, you'd best watch out for the Watchmen. Spectre's a sensation, you should really never miss. The comedian's your biggest fan now. If I could only get that kiss. OSMbunker, couple of crime-solving superstars. John can give you cancer, and they'll turn into a car. Strong together, united forever. Come and meet your friends. Have no fear, time's up, time's here for the Watchmen. Watch out.
So, The Watchmen.
So,
Pretty good stuff, guys.
So we're avoiding a spoiler section just because it's that awesome.
Pretty much. You should read it yourself and be spoiled. Because the spoilers, the whole point of the spoilers are to wrap up the story. You'll finish it. I finished it. I just sat back and went, this is epic. This is awesome. So I think to spoil that, there's no way we could make it nearly as epic as it is. We could not do it justice.
There's so much we could say, but yes, you need to have it happen when you read it.
Now, if you want, write to us, and if you want, like, say, a spoiler version of The Watchmen, we'll record a brand new podcast that's just but spoilers.
And we can talk about the movie, too.
We'll talk about the movie. We'll talk about everything you want. We'll probably grab in Eric, who's actually the real comic book nerd of all of us.
He was unable to appear for technical reasons.
That's right. And the book is actually, in many ways, pretty faithful. In many ways, not faithful.
You mean the movie?
Yeah, I mean the movie. If I didn't say the movie, I meant the movie.
Yes, the movie is in many ways faithful, in many ways not faithful.
To the book.
I'm amazed how much they left it alone, which is also a plus and a minus when you're doing a movie, because the movie is damn wordy, if you ask me. But
I liked it that way, but it was wordy, and it was more violent than the book.
I did like the word. I have to say, I like the wordiness. I can see how that would put off. A lot of people, I think, came expecting to see a superhero movie, and they weren't expecting
having to think
what they were getting.
Well, if they know anything about the Watchmen, they should know what to expect.
They probably did.
They probably don't. Well, think about it. Most people, what are they used to? Things like, Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. We think about all the newest movies for newest comic movies that we get. Mm-hmm. None of them, not even Dark Knight Returns, is remotely as complex as this, or even as wordy as this.
I mean, when me and Basil went to see it with James, I saw a guy who had a kid there with him, and I'm thinking this guy is either thinks a lot of his kid or he's in the wrong damn movie.
Mm-hmm. and because this is not a movie for kids for many reasons, mostly because this is a lot of really obtuse, dark, nitty gritty stuff, and they're not going to understand it yet.
They also up the violence. Woo!
A lot.
Well, even the violence, I sell video games for a living, so kids see a lot of violent stuff. That doesn't bug me. A lot of it is just the themes, thematic ways, just the writing is very, very thick. Mm-hmm. Like, I had trouble sometimes listening to Rorschach as he was talking.
Oh man, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Well, it was really good, but he was saying stuff so fast that, I hadn't read the book in forever, so he was churning it out so quickly that sometimes I had trouble keeping up. I mean, they weren't providing me subtitles or anything, so I couldn't constantly glance at words to keep up going with it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the DVD so I can turn on subtitles, so I can pretend it's in Japanese. Yeah, I'm a weeaboo. I can't watch anything without subtitles anymore.
But yeah, the movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and they're talking about having like a 3-hour and 40-minute DVD. So
the book on DVD, which is sort of cool version of the Watchmen comic that's unabridged, is about 5.5 hours. So they cut some material.
Mm-hmm. But Watchmen is really, really good stuff. DC still publishes it. Like I mentioned, it's in a giant omnibus edition that's $bazillion. But they've got it also for $20 in a softcover. Great, nice, big, thick book. Tons of fun to read.
Pick any major bookstore. They're likely to have a copy. If they don't come back in a week, they probably will.
And it's a really neat thing because they've layered it so deep. You can actually reread it several times.
In fact, that was Alan Moore's intention when he, made it, because you can keep going back and finding a whole ton of new stuff there.
Sometimes for things they didn't even realize. For example, they have the smiley face motif.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Even on Mars. They weren't expecting to be on Mars, but it's there. It's actually...
Because there actually is
There's
a crater
an actual crater on Mars that looks like a smiley face.
And some people actually laughed at that when they saw the movie, that they can't believe they put that, but it's a real thing.
And what's sad is I didn't even notice it.
I did, but
I did.
That's only because I had just been through the comic again recently.
It's okay, I didn't notice it in the comic book either. I'm just obtuse.
It's cute. There's random gags, like 2 characters who are thought to be dead may in fact be alive in a scene in a restaurant. We're not sure.
So guys, how many awesomes out of awesomes can we give the Watchmen?
I give it a doomsday clock that's also a smiley face full of awesome.
It's a cold, dark city full of commies and whores of awesome.
And I will look down at them and say, awesome.
Yes.
Pretty much. There's nothing really I can compete with Doomsday Clock and, awesome.
Yeah. Big Blue Wang of awesome?
So no.
That's the movie.
That's the movie,
The comic book's a very small Wang of awesome.
It's very much more understated Wang of awesome. Because it was supposed to be more like a sculptor.
Yeah, which is
sculpture
awesome. Yeah.
Because he's more dignified than giant blue dicks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because that's the big thing that I hear from people when they see the Watchmen. They go, oh man, this is really good, deep, introspective stuff. They go, oh man, do you see that blue dick?
I don't see what people's big deal is. It's a dick.
It's because it's a
penis.
It's a penis in a movie.
Guys freak out about penises in movies.
Well, I think they should grow up.
And I think, what should happen, Dr. Rorschach is sad, and, and Dr. Rorschach. Dr. Manhattan could be sad. And then, just like in Hajime no Ippo, New Challenger, Rorschach grabs and goes, dude, don't worry about it. Check out this massive blue dong I gave you in the movie. I'm like, I'm just going to, oh man, and it'd be great.
Man, I've been trying to get that out of my head. Now it's back. Thank you.
Well, that's the feeling people get for just seeing it.
Okay.
And that's where they're freaking out because people are,
grow
very
up!
introverted.
I probably would have forgotten the Blue Wang myself, except for people at work keep bringing it up if I want to talk about Watchmen.
Grow up! It's human anatomy.
But this book is more than that. The movie is really more than that, and you should really do yourself a favor, grab a copy of this book, read it through,
maybe
and
watch
let
the
it
movie.
be more.
But the book is awesome.
And with that, we are out.
Oh, yeah.
I have an abnormally large penis.
That
Do
you
you?
do.
Maybe.
Isn't it swell to have a penis?
Yes.
Isn't it nice to have a dick?
Yes.
Isn't it jolly to have a dog?
And to be fair, it's got me nothing but trouble. But
Isn't it great to have a prick?